That's what I'm starting a series on today. In your bulletins, inside your bulletins on your notes, there's something there I want you to follow along with me on or read along with me. You got your bulletin? Anybody not have a bulletin? You need to have a bulletin so you follow along with this. This is our statement for the next several weeks as I'm doing this series on Lion Wars. I'll tell you why in a moment, but it says this: quit living as if the purpose of life is to arrive safely at death. Run to the roar, set God-sized goals, pursue God-given passions, go after a dream that is destined to fail without divine intervention. Stop pointing out problems, become part of the solution. Stop repeating the past, start creating the future. Face your fears, fight for your dreams. Grab opportunity by the mane and don't let go. Live like today is the first day and the last day of your life. Burn scented bridges, blaze through trails, live for the applause of nail-scarred hands. Don't let what's wrong with you, don't let what's wrong with you keep you from worshiping what's right with God. Dare to fail. Dare to be different. Quit holding out. Quit holding back. Quit running away. Chase and kill the lion. Chase and kill the lion. You know, just a couple weeks ago, I was at home by myself, and I was just sitting there in my chair, and I was just thinking about things. You know how you get to thinking about things? And you kind of feel a little overwhelmed when you think about everything. You try to figure out, how is this all going to come together? How is this going to work? How are we going to get past this? And all that stuff. And I'm sitting there. I'm telling you the truth. I didn't take any drugs. I just sat there. And behind me, I heard a voice very lightly say, "We've killed us some lions, haven't we? We've killed us some lions, haven't we?" And I'm looking around, and I'm like, now my mind's going. I just, at least let me keep that. And I'm like, wow, what does that mean? And then about 2 days later, I read a statement by a guy named Mark Batterson. Anybody ever heard of Mark Batterson? He wrote a book, I think it was called Killing a Lion of a Snowy Day or something like that. Anybody ever read that book? But I read a statement that he made, and he said, you should always be chasing your lion, and you should always face it down and kill it. And I thought about back in the early 90s. Some of you may not know what this is, but this is a real Messiah warrior spear. This is the very spear that killed the lion. It was given to me by a missionary friend of mine who brought it back that a Messiah warrior had given him and said, present this with anyone that you know of that has great courage. And he brought this to me, and I've always kept it in my office as a reminder to always have courage and never be afraid of the lion. Because if some guy in Africa can take this little thing and face down the king of the jungle that's fierce and loud, and teeth are bared and claws are bared and sharpened, thing that's ready to pounce on you, that you're hunting, but it's also hunting you, ready to destroy you, infinitely powerful, strike with fear when he roars. Man, if he could take something like this and kill a physical lion, then I don't have to turn around and run for my life. I mean, that's what a normal person would do, wouldn't you? I mean, if you heard a lion, wouldn't you run? Huh? But see, normal is overrated. And lion killers don't run away. Lion killers run to the roar. They're looking for the roar. They're looking for a lion. See, we don't mind to see them as long as they're all caged up. We don't mind to listen to the roar as long as they're at a safe distance. But the truth is, most of us, even though we may not have a spear in our hand, we're daily squaring off against lions. We just don't think about an issue, a sickness, an attack on your mind, your body, an attack on a relationship. Maybe it's a reoccurring problem that is just as much a man-eater as if it had a mane and a nerve-shaking wound. 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 6 through 9, if you'll turn there with me. 1 Peter 5, verses 6 through 9 says, "Therefore humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time." How many knows that every one of us, there's a time and a season for our lives? Do you know you have a time in life? That your life is going in cycles and there's always seasons of change and always new times. It says, cast all your care upon him because he cares for you. Here's what I want you to hear. Be sober. Got to underline this one. Be vigilant. Because your enemy or adversary, the devil, walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom, everybody say whom, because that's an important word, whom he may devour. That he can devour doesn't say that. He's looking for someone that will give him permission to devour them. You understand that what I learned from, you can learn all kinds of things from Google these days. I love the internet because, man, I have all kinds of resource and research at my fingertips. I don't have the crew like some of the bigger pictures have, all the guys that do all your research and stuff for you. So Google's great, But I found out that lions don't roar as much as they do when they're older. That when they get older, that's when they roar the most. When they're the young lions, you don't hear them much until it's too late. Because they're stealthful, they're fast, they find their prey, and they're very quiet until they're right there close, and then they move. And they move at such a lightning quick speed that they can chase their prey down and bring them down. But as the lion gets older, it's not as fast as it used to be. It's not as strong as it used to be. It's losing some of its teeth. Its eyesight is not as good as it used to be. So what the older lion does, it comes in and it begins to give forth a big roar. And the reason it brings the roar is to strike fear that cause confusion among its prey. So the more that it roars and moves around, roaring, it causes confusion that it's hoping that some of the prey will run right up to it close where then it could pounce on it and bring it down. Because it's not as fast as it used to be. See, our adversary is a roaring lion. He's just coming to roar at your life to strike fear into your mind and your emotions. But God says resist him. Stand strong in your faith. Knowing that the same sufferings are experienced by your brotherhood in the world. So how do we kill lions? It got me on the topic of the lions. How do we kill lions? How do we handle a beast that's trying to handle us? Look at Judges chapter 14. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be looking at how we are efficient lion killers. Judges 14, I'm starting in verse number 1. I'll give you a chance to get there. I want you to see this. How many are still with me? Then Samson went down to Timnah and saw a woman in Timnah and one of the daughters of the Philistines. So he came back and he told his father and mother, I saw a woman in Timnah, one of the daughters of the Philistines. Now therefore, get her for me as a wife. Then his father and mother said to him, is there no woman among the daughters of our relatives or among all our people that you go to take a wife from the uncircumcised Philistines? In other words, that's our enemy's son. But Samson said to his father, get her for me. She looks good to me. However, his father and mother did not know that it was, everybody look at this, of the Lord. Everybody say that. Why? Because he was seeking an occasion against the Philistines. You understand that God will set our enemy up for us to have a victory? That some of the times when you're facing things, instead of blaming God and getting mad at the situation, instead of thinking of sitting down and doing nothing, that we begin to see it as an occasion for God to bring his victory and show us his great mighty hand. What will he do? Instead of going, oh my God, going, oh, what's God about to do? Come on, somebody. Look at 3 people telling Pastor John's talking to somebody beside himself. I'm probably preaching more to me, so y'all just hang on and go with me, all right? So Samson went down to Timnah with his father and mother and came as far as the vineyards of Timnah. Behold, a young lion came roaring toward him. The Spirit of the Lord came upon him mightily, so that he tore him as one tears a young goat, though he had nothing in his hand. Woo! Hercules ain't got nothing on Samson. But he didn't tell his father and mother what he had done. So he went down, talked to the woman, and she looked good to Samson. When he returned later to take her, he turned aside, everybody say turned aside, to look at the carcass of the lion. Behold, a swarm of bees and honey were in the body of the lion. So he scraped the honey in his hands, went on eating as he went. When he came to his father and mother, he gave some to them, and they ate it, but he didn't tell them where that stuff come from. From this encounter with the lion, Samson teaches us something. God shows us something powerful about fighting a lion and about being in these lion wars. Number one is this. Lion killers need a good eye doctor. Now let me tell you why I say that. Because see, Samson was a man that was driven by impulse, wasn't he? He was driven not by his spirit realm, but his soulish realm. He had some flaky feelings. He definitely had willful wantings. And he definitely had stinking thinking. Because his mind and his eyes were always wandering at the things of the Philistines instead of being squared off with what God wanted him to be as a judge of Israel. So all of a sudden he finds himself squared off with this huge cat just because his eyes got him in trouble. Because he's looking at the wrong woman. I'll tell you, looking at the wrong woman, it gets you in trouble. Y'all understand that? And he allowed something that he saw to take him into a pathway of trouble. He could have taken control over that, denied himself, and went the other way and said, forget that stuff. I'm a judge of Israel. How many of us wind up in dangerous, life-threatening, faith-threatening, family-threatening, lying-filled moments simply because we won't walk away from something that looks good? But that's not good. See, not everything that looks good is necessarily good. Anybody hearing me? You know, just because a job looks good doesn't mean it's a good job. Just because a friendship looks good doesn't mean that's good for you. Our eyes can lead us into trouble. Our focus is everything. Man, when it comes to fighting lions, your focus is everything. That's why one of my key lion-killing truths is this, is that the children of the King, we're not allowed to walk by sight. That's why Jesus said, we walk by faith, not by sight. You don't walk by what you see. You don't walk by how you feel. You walk by faith. You see, our sight can take us right in face-to-face encounters with lions that we're not ready to fight if you're looking at the wrong thing. See, most of the lions we face can be avoided if we just simply control our faith in the Word. Will you have faith in His Word? Or are you going to believe more of what you see and feel? What are you going to do? Hebrews 12:1 says, since we are surrounded by so many examples of faith, we must get rid of everything that slows us down. What's slowing you down? What sin is distracting us? What pulls at you? What picture does the devil pull out on you? And you know, he never pulls out a picture of faith on you. He's always going over here to your past. And he's pulling out an old picture of you. It doesn't even look like you anymore. Come on, somebody. I wonder how many of y'all, how many here are over 50? Raise your hand. Just go ahead and admit it. You're over 50. All right, now stop thinking about this. How many of you right now look like your senior pictures? See, that was the response I was expecting. But what else? But what would it look like if somebody said, they came along and somebody said, no, here's Don Ray, and they pulled out Don's high school senior picture. That might be Don, but that's not who Don is now. And that's what the devil wants to do. He wants to pull out an old picture of you. That may be you, but that's not who you are now. You're somebody totally different. The grace of God has covered you. You've been made the righteous of God. Why are you playing around with the devil's kids when you're a son and a daughter of God? Why do you keep going to the trash heap? Why do you keep diving in the dumpster to find your friendships, to find your relationships, to find your goals and your dreams? They're not there. They're found in Jesus and in His Word. Come on, somebody. He says you got to run the race that's in front of you and never give up. And then it makes a statement. We must focus on Jesus. Why? Because he's the author and the finisher of our faith. And because greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. That includes the enemy. Greater is the Jesus in you than whatever you're facing. But listen, at the same time, those of us especially, I had you raise your hands over 50, you got to quit living as though your purpose is to arrive safely at death. You don't need to have death in mind. Death is not your purpose. Your purpose is not over with. There's no such, you've heard me say this thing, there's no such thing as retirement in the kingdom of God. You don't sit down on God and say, well, I'm 65, it's over with for me. Let these young ones come up and do the stuff now. No, they need your direction or they're going to do a bunch of stupid stuff. And you can help them get past the stupid stuff so we can go on to the next level a lot faster. Most of us spend our lives running away from the things we're afraid of. Or we chase after the wrong things. You understand that? Can I just get real personal? And I'm just real. So you just have to bear with me now, because I don't believe in being fake. Either you're real or you're not, you know. And if you're not, well, come roar and grab the spear. The thing is, you know, the injuries that I've had to my knees, each time I fall, it hurts. All right? It's just real. And there's things that happen. Start swelling up and all that stuff. Go through all that. But you understand, it's not the pain. It's not even the swelling I'm dealing with or having to lay there and I hate being still and not doing stuff or being around more than anything else. I've watched the services every week on the phone through FaceTime. I've been here with you, just not in body. But it's not the same, you know. But to lay you there and having to wait to heal up and all that stuff, that's not the problem. You know what the real problem is? You know what starts hitting me? Fear. Because I don't want to fall again. So then I have to take every bit and every ounce, and I know this sounds silly, of faith and fight just to walk up to get in that car, wherever it was, the last place I fell, to get past that. Because of the fear that's deep down. But I always have this in me. Just let's state the point. But at the end of my life, I don't want my greatest regret to be that I left some God-ordained opportunities on the table because of fear. I don't want to leave my God-given passions and not pursue them just because of fear. I'm not giving up on my God-sized dreams. I don't want to have the regret that I didn't go after it because I let the fear of some lie dictate to me my decisions that I made. You hear the church? The second one you may not like. My second point today is this. Lion killers will be sent lions. Lion killers will be sent lions. Bottom line, God wanted Samson as a judge of Israel to destroy the Philistines. And God utilized every chance he could through Samson to do that. I mention this because I think too many of us are convinced that we are certain that God is sending us along some particular path that's just going to be easy, smooth, no obstructions, no pain, no hurt, that we're on the Wizard of Oz journey. Come on, somebody. I'm going to make a statement to some of you right now. You might want to rethink your life. Don't think that following God diminishes your chance of fighting lions. In fact, following God will actually increase your chances. Because now the lion no longer has you in his den. So now he's coming to get you. He wants to bring you back to his holy place. You understand what I'm saying? So you can't be a lion killer. The lions are set for a way to kill. See, some of us get mad at God. We get so mad at God for sending us into trials and tests. That things happen in our lives. Well, listen, life happens. But God takes all those situations, the trials that come, the tests that come, some of them self-induced. And God begins to hone our skills through his word and how to kill a lion. So that each step of our life and journey, I know you'll love this, you'll be able to face off against bigger lions later. You'll become skilled. But listen to me. See, David was able to handle a bear. Why? Because he was first in a lion. David was able to handle Goliath. Why? Because he was first. Took down a lion. But had he not down the lion and the bear, he would have run away from Goliath. But because he killed a lion, then he killed a bear, Goliath wasn't nothing more than just another obstacle. You're just another thing. You're bigger. You're louder. You got more stuff to kill me with, but you're just another obstacle. See, too many of us, and please hear me when I say this, you might want to write this down somewhere. Too many of us allow our circumstances to get between us and God. Too many of us allow our circumstances to get between us and God, instead of letting God get between us and our circumstances. You see, lion killers, they measure everything they do not by what happened to them, but they measure it according to God. Do you know how big my God is? Do you understand? I mean, devil, really? Do you understand how big God is? Do you know how many times we've done this dance? And you haven't stopped me yet. Because God's not going to let you. My time's not up yet. My purpose, my mission is not over yet. And you have no say in it. Only God has a say in it. So how many times do you want to do this dance so that you keep getting hurt so bad over and over? So when I really heard that voice saying, we killed some lions together, haven't we? I knew it was the Holy Spirit. Because what he was saying to me was, face your lions on. Get excited about what's ahead. Because this is just one lion. But that means that there's a victory on the other side that's bigger than your fight and your struggle. Stay true to your path. Stay true to the fight. Number 3, and last of all, lion killers know that honey comes from the battle. Honey comes from the battle. I love this. Samson squares off against this lion. He's in hand-to-hand combat for his life. Hunted by a young, strong, quick man. The lion, full of fury, charges, thinking he's going to rip this man to shreds. But once again, God steps in. You may have to fight, but God's got you covered. And he helps Samson destroy that lion with his bare hand. Let me tell you something. God does the same thing for you. You just don't pay attention to it. We just don't know what God's in the middle of it. Several days later, one version says, after some time. That means it's been a little while. And Samson comes back on the scene of where that bloody battle took place, and there's just a carcass now. So it's been several days, you understand? That same lion that threatened his life is, now full of honey. Somebody like honey. He takes that honey out, slaps it on that sopapilla. He starts eating that baby. He's like, ooh, there is nothing better than honey on a sopapilla. And he's loving it, man. How many of us can remember some moments when we walked into harm's way, but God the Father stepped in and rescued us? But we didn't understand it because we're in the middle of a fight. I'll never forget as a kid, I think I was like 11 years old, and me and some friends are camping out in my backyard, and we made a big campfire in the middle of it, and we put our sleeping bags around it. We're sleeping there overnight there outside, being Davy Crockett, Daniel Boone, and all that stuff. And all of a sudden, early in the morning, I feel myself being picked up. Well, my first thought, I'm being shaken around. I'm thinking I'm being attacked by a barrel. Big old bars come out of the woods and got me. That's all we say in Kentucky, a bar. But I'm looking around, and finally I look up, and it's my dad. And he's picked me up, he's shaking me every which way, and throwing me on the ground, and picking me up, and shaking me, and throwing me on the ground. I'm thinking, my God, Dad, what did I do? I'm yelling, what'd I do? The fact of the matter was my sleeping bag was on fire. And I was sound asleep, and I didn't even know it. My dad had just come in from work and saw my sleeping bag smoldering on fire, and the flames started up. And he was just trying to save my life by shaking me out of that bag to put the fire out. See, sometimes we're getting shaken by the Father, and we don't understand. We're blaming God for our situation, but he's trying to save the life. How many of us can testify today that God has always inserted himself in our battles? Sometimes even when they've been self-inflicted. But I came to share with you a great lion tamer truth that you need to be aware of today. Not only does God rescue us, save us, and fight for us, but he also has the propensity to take what the enemy has meant for our harm and turn it for a great testimony of glory for you and for your good. For your good. For your good. Get anything out of this. See, God can take what was supposed to rip you apart, destroy you, eat you for lunch, maybe just scar you for the rest of your life. But when the day's done, the battle's over, not only do you walk away in victory, but after some time, you'll come back and see that carcass of pain where it all took place, and you're going to find honey. You're going to be able to talk about that battle and talk about the sweetness of that place as there was a sweetness because of it. See, God can actually use what was assigned to bring destruction as an incubator of nourishment. I didn't say you won't get clawed. I didn't say you won't experience pain or hurt. I didn't say you might not get bit. But remember this. Write this down. This is a good one. I love these statements the Holy Spirit gives me. Write this down. Damage doesn't mean defeat. Right now, someone may look at me and say, oh, that poor pastor, he's just damaged goods. Damage don't mean defeat. Damage means victory. There's a glory coming to God. There's strength like you don't know. Because I've seen what God can do. The memories that have caused pain can actually nourish you with courage as you recall God's always come through. God's always come through. I cannot really for the life of me think back over the years and all the junk that I've been through and not recall one time God not coming through for me. Even when I didn't know how he was going to do it. Even when I didn't know that he had done it. Those instances that felt like it was all over really become a reminder to me that heaven's for you. Heaven is for you. It's backing you up. See, but honey, it's often hidden in hell-filled places where the lion wants to try to take you down. Don't give up on your God dreams. Don't give up on your God purpose. Don't give up because of fear of the fight. Don't give up because you have fear of pain or fear that you're going to get hurt or the fear of failure. What if it doesn't work? Or greater than that, the fear of what other people will think. I'm being honest with you. I feel that more than anything else. I fight that fear. Because I fight the fear of a preacher in a wheelchair preaching on a platform. Because the devil comes and hits my ear and says, who do you think you are? I said, well, damage don't mean defeat. I'm glad the Holy Spirit spoke that to me. Damage has nothing to do with defeat. You're not speaking out of your knees. The wisdom that God's given you and deposited you and invested in you over the years and the experiences you've had didn't come because you walk. It comes out of your spirit, man. See, the day is going to come, man, just like Samson, that you'll see the life-threatening battle that you've just been through. And you'll be reminded it's just God's grace. It's His grace. It's all about grace. It's all about grace. It's all about grace. Amen. We're covered. We're covered. When Jesus walked out of the tomb on the third day, the word impossible was deleted from the Christian's dictionary. There's no such thing as impossible. Don't let me hear you ever say it again. Impossible. That word doesn't exist. So quit focusing on 500-pound lions. Quit focusing on that roaring, toothless, slow, old lion that's just trying to bring fear into your life. and fix your eyes on the Lion of the tribe of Judah. There is a rival for you. Jesus. 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 May the fingertip. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Father. But I wish I knew how to sing the song through it all. You might know the words to that song. Through it all, just to say them to me. I thank God for all. I thank you for the mountains. I thank you for the valleys. I thank you for all that He's brought me through. It just goes on. If it hadn't been for the valleys, the mountains, all these things that happen, I'd never know what grace, faith in God could do. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. Through it all, I've learned to trust in God. Amen? Through it all. And Paul would say to you today, that about wraps it up. God is strong. He wants you strong. Paul said in Ephesians, so take everything the Master has set out for you. Well-made weapons of the best materials. Put them to use. So you'll be able to stand everything the lion pulls through. This is no afternoon athletic event that we'll walk away from and forget about it in a couple of hours. This is for keeps. A life or death fight to the finish. It's the devil and all his angels. Be prepared. You're up against far more than you can handle on your own. So you need to take the help of everything that God has issued. Peace, righteousness, truth, faith, salvation. These are more than just words, church. And you need to learn to apply. That's what Paul would say to you. You need them throughout your whole life. The most essential ones are, he says, prayer and the word. Prayer and the word. I challenge you today, the rest of this week, do not get caught up in fear. Don't allow fear to stop you in your tracks. Don't allow fear to keep you from going after something you really desired and dreamed of. Have faith in God that He's right there with you. He'll take you right there to fight with you. Pray. Read His Word. Shake off like you would.